address by Deputy President Jacob Zuma, 18th of January 2001, and I'll highlight the words for you that you can see them. Africa is staking a claim for its full participation in shaping of a new world order, right? To show you that even in little South Africa, that message is also being preached. And it wasn't just in 2001 that he said it. Here's another example in 2002 where he promoted the same idea. As you can see, it's quite small writing, so I'll zoom in for you. This is the 23rd of January 2002. Mr. President, our friendship is also strengthened by our common pursuit of a new world order that is just, fair, and peaceful. So again, Mr. Zuma saying that one of the main objectives in his role inside the leadership of South Africa is to bring South Africa into the new world order. When Thabo Mbeki became president of South Africa, one of the first things he did, as you can see from this BBC News article, is that he called for a new world order. You can see underneath the picture, it says, the new president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, has called for a new world order responsive to the needs of the poor. So he's calling for a new world order, one of the very first things he did. And then that was on June 25th, 1999. A little bit later, in 27th of August 2002, 3 years later, he called again. Read this with me. Mbeki calls for a new world order. In today's rap, Mbeki calls for a new world order, Cheney bangs the drum, etc., and Chief Rabbi issues a warning to Israel. So Thabo Mbeki, the president of South Africa, calling, we need a new world order. We need a new world order. Right. Now, a couple of months ago, Thabo Mbeki stepped down, and South Africa received a new interim president to hold the fort between Thabo Mbeki and the new president coming in. What did this gentleman have to say? And please look at the date on this. This is BUA News, and you'll see there it's the 30th of January 2009. Listen to what it says, and I've underlined it for you, but I'll read the whole thing. Now is a very good time to position and prepare for the upswing. The African continent has been least affected by the global financial crisis, he said, adding that after the global recovery, listen to this, after the global recovery, there will be a new order. We hope that this development is embraced constructively by the developed world. Listen carefully. The new global economic order must see Africa at the center, not the periphery. And just the last bit there said President Motlanthe. Right? So you can see that as you step into the role of leadership, one of the very first things you have to do to make sure that the whole world knows you're in line is to call for a new world order. And that's what the president did, and he's been part of the discussions, including the G20 summit. But he wasn't alone, because the finance minister of South Africa, Trevor Manuel, also went along to these big discussions to try and figure out what's going to happen with the world economy. And on the 17th of March, 2009, Trevor Manuel had an interesting comment. As you can see from MoneyWeb, Trevor Manuel calls for a new world order. So over and over and over, the leadership of South Africa are making the noises about a new world order. Now, I hope that from just the one DVD that you had, It's Closer Than You Think Part 1, I hope that you are able to see and realize that this is not conspiracy, this is fact. There's a movement towards a new world order, and all they need is the right crisis, and then the world will accept the new world order. And what about our new presidency? What's going to happen with Jacob Zuma as a president? Well, in South Africa, one of the things that has happened with this democracy is, especially Christianity, but religions have been eroded, right? The importance of religion has been eroded. But yet, you can see, as Bible prophecy predicts, the coming together again of religion and politics. Religion and politics. And here's an example of that from News 24. Zuma says God is for the ANC. The church's support for the ANC was an unequivocal Bible or biblical declaration that if God is for us, who can be against us? So he's quoting the Bible and he's saying, God is for the ANC. Nobody will be able to stop us, because if God is for us, who will be against us? And please note that that was in March of 2009. We're in May? March. That's only 2 months ago. Now, there were 4 specific aspects that I referred to in the presentation last time. I said they need, in order to have a new world order, they need to have, number 1, all the computers in the world being able to communicate with one another. So they needed a common platform, and they needed the right major crisis. They needed a technology meltdown, which we saw happen in Y2K. It didn't happen, but it was enough to get all the world's computers talking on the same platform. Then they needed a global political focus. They needed a global political threat, which we saw was 9/11. They needed a global environmental focus, which the high priest of global warming, Al Gore, has now done a very good job on telling the whole world about global warming. And then I said, what the last thing they're going to need is a global financial management system. And I predicted that the financial crisis that was happening at the time would lead to the New World Order, because those 4 aspects sews everything up and allows them then to launch the New World Order. I obviously didn't know what was coming down the line, but I said, let's just see where we are in the beginning of next year. Well, there we are now. So now I'm looking back, and I'd like to show you in this presentation what has happened since the previous time we were with you up to today. One of the things I want to refer to first is I want to take you back to the year 2000, the New American Century. This is a document that was penned out by Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld. It was called the Project for a New American Century. It was the blueprint that they would follow when they won the presidency a few months later. Among a couple other things, it states the following: our plans will take a long time to accomplish, absent from some catastrophic event, such as a new Pearl Harbor. Our plans, meaning for a new world order, are going to take a long time to come right, unless we have some catastrophic event like a new Pearl Harbor. Now, why is that a key word? Well, the words Pearl Harbor, to those of us that have done the research, make absolute sense. You see, Pearl Harbor obviously was one of the things that happened during the Second World War, and documents regarding Pearl Harbor have been kept secret for 50 or 60 years, I can't remember exactly. But after that, they have to be released to the public. So when the time had elapsed, those documents became available for the whole world to read. And shock of all shock and horror of all horrors, reading the documentation, the secret documents of government at the time, you can see very, very clearly how America knew beforehand that the bombing was going to take place in Pearl Harbor. Not only did they know, they put more soldiers there so that the American soldiers would be blown up and be shot. And that way, America would never be able to get the blame for what happened at Pearl Harbor. So Pearl Harbor is a signal, or are signal words for saying, we know what's going to happen before it happens, so when it happens, it's happening for a reason, even if it happens to our own people. Go and have a look on the internet for Pearl Harbor exposed, or Pearl Harbor uncovered, or Pearl Harbor the truth, and then you'll see what I mean. Now, just about the time of the financial collapse, in fact, as you'll see from the next article, October 6th, 2008, there was something came up in the news. Pope Benedict declared that the world's financial systems are built on sand. And please note, you'll see, when you're reading about Pope Benedict, how often you'll see Obama's face on the same page, subliminally linking the two for mankind, to see the connection. But there the Pope says, be careful, because what you have, your wealth, has been built on sand. And a couple of days later, that was the 10th of October, 4 days later, bang, down went the European and Asian markets. They started to plunge again. And the world economy, they said, October 12th, 2008, is near meltdown. But then this article came up, and look at the date, January 19th, 2009. The title is Warren Buffett says that the United States is in